Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're bringing you another great lesson. And this time we're going to be shopping.
That's right. Actually, a lot of our users asked for some lessons about shopping, right?
Exactly. And I think one of the most important things when you go shopping is to get a good price.
That's right.
So we're going to be teaching you how to bargain.
So Marco, you just mentioned a really great word. Let's look at it in vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
All right. So we're going to preview the word bargain today.
Bargain.
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 Now, this is an interesting word because it's a verb and a noun.
That's right. So a bargain is a good price, right?
Okay, so a bargain is a good price.
Yeah. This t-shirt was a bargain. I only paid $1 for it.
Okay, so that is a bargain.
Yes.
But to bargain as a verb.
To try and get a good price.
So it's very similar to negotiate.
Yeah, so I would say it costs $100.
And then I would say maybe, no, I'll give you 50.
75.
And then I'll say 60.
Et cetera, et cetera.
And that's to bargain, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to be bargaining. Let's listen to the dialogue for the first time as we have a woman bargaining in a store, right?
That's right.
Vocabulary preview.
Hello, may I help you?
Yeah, this dress is really nice. How much is it?
That one is $150.
$150. What about this other one over here?
That's $140.
That's a bit out of my price range. Can you give me a better deal?
This is an exclusive design by Damarco. It's a bargain at that price.
Well, I don't know. I think I'll shop around.
Okay. How about $100?
That's still more than I wanted to spend. What if I take both dresses?
Okay, I can give you a special discount just because you seem like a nice person. $190 for both.
I don't know. Still a bit pricey. Thanks anyway.
Okay, my final price, $100 for both. That's two for the price of one, and that's my last offer.
Great! You've got a deal.
All right, that was some good bargaining skills right there.
Yeah, and you know what? She used a lot of good language to get a cheaper price, didn't she?
Yeah, that was good. So let's take a look at this language in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Okay, the first word we have in Language Takeaway today, price range.
Price range.
Price range.
Price range.
Price range, what does that mean exactly?
So price range is the minimum and the maximum that you're willing to spend for a thing that you want to buy.
Exactly. So in the dialogue we heard, it's out of my price range.
It's more than I can spend.
More than I could spend.
Yep.
Okay, let's look at our next word. Shop around.
Shop around.
Shop around.
Shop around.
So she said, I think I'll shop around.
Right. So she wants to check in a few other stores to see if there's a better price.
If I shop around, I'm going and trying to compare prices maybe.
Exactly. This is a really good shopping technique.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Okay, and let's look at our last word. Pricey.
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 So something that's pricey is
Expensive.
expensive.
Yep. This is a more sort of informal way of saying expensive.
Exactly. So instead of saying, wow, that car is really expensive,
It's really pricey.
it's really pricey.
Yeah.
Okay, let's listen to our dialogue for the second time, and it's going to be slowed down a bit.
So you'll understand some of these great words a little bit better.
Dialogue.
Hello, may I help you?
Yeah, this dress is really nice. How much is it?
That one is $150.
$150. What about this other one over here?
That's $140.
That's a bit out of my price range. Can you give me a better deal?
This is an exclusive design by Damarco. It's a bargain at that price.
Well, I don't know. I think I'll shop around.
Okay. How about $100?
That's still more than I wanted to spend. What if I take both dresses?
Okay, I can give you a special discount just because you seem like a nice person. $190 for both.
I don't know. It's still a bit pricey. Thanks anyway.
Okay, my final price. $100 for both. That's 2 for the price of 1. That's my last offer.
Great! You've got a deal.
So we've covered the language in this dialogue. Now let's take a look at some of the phrases in putting it together.
Putting it together.
So, Marco, in this dialogue, there's a lot of really useful phrases to help you get a better price when you shop, right?
Exactly.
So the first one we have is, can you give me a better deal?
Can you give me a better deal?
Can you give me a better deal?
So if I'm shopping and something is too expensive,
Yeah.
I would use this sentence with the shopkeeper.
Yeah. So you might say, hey, this is out of my price range. Could you give me a better deal?
Can you give me a better deal?
Yeah.
Okay, we have some examples of can you give me a better deal? Let's listen.
Example 1.
I really like this shirt, but it's too expensive. Can you give me a better deal?
Example 2.
Can you give me a better price on this car? I really don't have that much money.
So you can see here that you can say, can you give me a better deal? Or can you give me a better price?
All right, let's take a look at the next phrase. That's still more than I wanted to spend.
That's still more than I wanted to spend.
That's still more than I wanted to spend.
So if the seller suggests a really high price, you can say,
That's still more than I wanted to spend. So basically, you're telling the shopkeeper,
The second
Still too
paragraph
expensive.
still
of the
too
dialogue.
expensive.
Yeah.
You still don't want to spend that much.
Mhm.
All right, let's take a look at our last phrase.
that's my last offer.
That's my last offer.
That's my last offer.
Now, this could work both ways. It could be the shopkeeper that's telling you that,
That's my lowest price.
right? Or you could say, that's my last offer.
That's my highest price if you are buying it.
Right. Because sometimes when you're bargaining, the shopkeeper will say, all right, what's your best offer? How much will you pay?
$100. That's my final offer.
Exactly.
Mhm.
All right, so we've looked at a lot of great phrases and words, and now you're ready to bargain and also listen to this dialogue for the third time. And then we'll come back and talk some more.
Hello, may I help you?
Yeah, this dress is really nice. How much is it?
That one is $150.
$150. What about this other one over here?
That's $140.
That's a bit out of my price range. Can you give me a better deal?
This is an exclusive design by Damarco. It's a bargain at that price.
Well, I don't know. I think I'll shop around.
Okay. How about $100?
That's still more than I wanted to spend. What if I take both dresses?
Okay, I can give you a special discount just because you seem like a nice person. $190 for both.
I don't know. Still a bit pricey. Thanks anyway.
Okay, my final price, $100 for both. That's 2 for the price of 1, and that's my last offer.
Great! You've got a deal.
All right, so I know that in Canada, it's not really common to bargain, right?
No, it really isn't. Like, even when you go to the market to buy fruits and vegetables, it's very, very rare to bargain with the shopkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
How about in Ecuador?
No, in Ecuador, you definitely bargain.
Really?
Well, if you go to the mall, for example,
Yep.
or if you go to a supermarket, of course, you wouldn't really bargain.
Yeah.
Unless maybe you go to a small store or you go to one of the local markets,
Yep.
then it's more common to bargain.
Yeah.
And you have to because people expect you to bargain.
Really?
Yeah. In many countries in the world, bargaining is almost like an art.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, Marco, you are an excellent bargainer, aren't you?
Yeah, I've been known to bargain with the shopkeepers in I've been known to bargain a little bit with the shopkeepers and helping out.
A little bit. I mean, you've got better prices than I can even imagine getting.
Yeah, that's a good story. Maybe we'll get JP to go to our comment section and tell you about that.
Yeah.
So we want to know about your countries. Is it common to bargain? Do you really do it? Is it okay? Or when is it okay?
Yes, tell us. Visit our website at englishpod.com. Tell us about your country's bargaining customs and also leave your questions there for us.
Exactly. We'll be there to answer them. But until then, we got to go. So
Goodbye.
bye.
The second paragraph of the dialogue.
Welcome back, everybody. Today's deep dive is all about bargaining.
Uh-oh, sounds scary.
Not at all. Actually, we'll see how useful bargaining can be. You know, whether you're at a market in some far-off place or even just trying to get a deal online.
Right.
The second paragraph
So we
of the
found some really
dialogue.
interesting stuff for this deep dive. Some research about how people think about shopping and like even some real examples of bargaining.
Interesting.
You know, people think of bargaining as like this big, scary thing, but really it's just talking.
Yeah.
Like it's just communicating, which everyone does all the time. And you can get good at it with practice, just like anything else.
Yeah, for sure.
So before we even get to like actually asking, can I get a lower price?
Right.
We got to start with the basics.
Okay.
The sources talk a lot about this idea of a price range.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What is that?
Well, price range is basically the different prices
Okay.
that you would be okay paying for something.
Right.
And this is where thinking about shopping comes in.
Before you even start looking at stuff, you should decide, like, what's the absolute most you would pay?
Oh, okay.
That way you don't spend too much.
So it's kind of like setting limits.
Exactly.
You don't buy something you'll regret later.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
That brings us to another good tip.
Okay.
Shop around.
Oh, right.
The research we looked at talks about comparing prices. You know, looking at what different places are charging before you buy anything.
Like that example with the silk scarf we saw.
Yeah, remember that.
Yeah.
Could be really tempting to just buy the first one.
Right.
But, you know, if you wait and look around,
Yeah.
might find a similar one for way less.
Makes total sense.
And it's so easy these days. You got tons of websites and apps to compare prices.
You can shop around without even leaving your couch.
Exactly.
So, okay. We've got our price range figured out. We've shopped around. And now we've found something we like.
Okay, what next?
How do we, actually start bargaining?
Let's say I'm at a store
Okay.
and I see this dress. I love it, but it's a little pricey.
Ooh, pricey. Haha, yeah.
I like that word.
It's like expensive, but not so formal.
Yeah.
You know?
It can make things feel less intense, I guess.
Exactly.
Less like a fight.
Right.
So how would you, actually start?
Like without sounding rude.
Right.
Well, the examples we looked at suggest just asking straight up, can you give me a better deal? Simple, but it works.
Yeah, and it's polite, shows you're interested, but you're not trying to, cheat them or something.
Okay. So I could say, excuse me, I really love this dress, but it's a bit more than I was hoping to spend.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to give me a better price?
Perfect.
And then what if they say, well, this dress is really special, hand-stitched, imported,
Oh, yeah, they'll try to make it sound unique.
It's already a bargain.
Right.
So they're not budging yet. What now?
You could try bundling.
Bundling. Yeah, you say something like, I see, it is really nice, but what if I also got this blouse?
Okay.
Could you give me a discount if I buy both?
Oh, that's clever.
You're buying more so they make more money.
Right.
And that might make them want to give you a deal.
Makes sense. And we're still being polite the whole time.
Exactly.
Right.
It's like we said before, it's not a battle, it's more like a dance. Back and forth.
Yeah.
Don't forget, the person selling stuff is running a business.
Right.
Got to make money.
Right.
But they also want to make sales.
Right.
So you're both trying to find something that works for everyone.
That's bargaining.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about some bargaining basics.
Right.
But our research also mentioned something really important that people don't always think about.
What's that?
Culture.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like what's okay in one country might be super rude in another.
Right.
Which-
It's like you got to know the rules of the game before you start playing.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how just buying and selling can be so different depending on where you are.
Totally. Our research talked about this difference between bargaining in Canada and Ecuador.
Vocabulary preview.
Okay.
So in Canada, most people don't really bargain.
Even at a flea market or something.
Even then, yeah,
Right.
it's just not as common.
Interesting. But in Ecuador.
It's expected,
Oh, wow.
especially in those little markets.
So it's not rude.
Not at all.
But part of how they do things.
Yeah, it's like a friendly thing, a way to connect with the person you're buying from.
Oh, wow.
You might even seem rude if you don't at least try to bargain.
That's so different from what we're used to. And the research also said that in some cultures, bargaining is more than just buying something. It's part of their traditions.
Exactly. It's a social thing. It has meaning beyond just the money.
Makes you see it in a whole new way.
For sure.
But like we said, you got to be careful.
Oh, yeah. What's a joke in one place might be an insult somewhere else. So how do we make sure we don't accidentally offend anyone?
Especially when we're in a new place.
Research, research, research.
Before you even go?
Yep. Look up the local customs.
Oh,
There are tons of websites and travel books that can help you.
so it's like packing your suitcase with knowledge.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Okay, so let's say I'm in Morocco, in one of those markets they're famous for.
Oh, yeah.
I'm picturing all the colors, the smells, and like you said, people bargaining everywhere.
So, in a place like that, bargaining is kind of like a game, a friendly game.
Okay. How do I play?
Start with a smile.
Okay.
Tell them you like their stuff.
Like compliment their work.
Yeah, exactly. It shows you respect them.
Makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
I'm acknowledging that their stuff is good before I even ask about the price.
Exactly. And, depending where you are, offering some tea or just chatting a little can really help.
So it's like you're building a connection
Right.
before you even get to the business part.
Exactly. Building trust.
Wow, it's making me see bargaining differently.
Oh.
It's not just about the stuff you buy.
Yeah.
It's about the people.
It is. It's about connecting with people.
Yeah.
Even if they're from a totally different culture than you.
Yeah. That's kind of cool.
It is. But what if, you've done your research, you're trying to be respectful, but you just don't feel comfortable bargaining?
It can be kind of intimidating.
It can be. That's okay. Just be honest. You can just tell them, hey, I love this, but I don't really bargain. Can you just give me your best price?
That's a good idea. Direct and polite.
Right. But, honestly, after learning all this stuff, I actually feel more confident about trying it out.
Me too.
Yeah.
What about places like Asia?
Hmm.
I've heard they bargain a lot there
Vocabulary
too.
preview.
Oh, yeah.
Is it different?
It is.
Okay, tell me more.
Well, in many parts of Asia, bargaining is like part of everyday life.
Oh, wow.
From those big markets to, people selling souvenirs on the street.
Sure.
But it's got to be done right.
How so?
First, you need patience. Don't expect to get the price you want right away.
Right.
It's about, going back and forth,
Yeah.
reading those subtle signals.
Uh-huh.
It's like a dance, but a really slow, careful one.
So you're saying no rushing.
Exactly. Don't get flustered if it doesn't happen right away.
Got it.
It's all about finding that balance, where both people feel good about the deal.
Mm.
That's what makes it so interesting.
So we've learned a lot in this deep dive about bargaining.
We have.
From those price ranges to how to actually ask for a better price.
Right.
And then all that stuff about how different cultures do things differently.
Yeah. Super important to remember that.
It's kind of amazing how something like bargaining, which seems pretty simple, can actually be so complicated.
Right.
It's about way more than just getting a lower price.
Yes. It's about talking to people, being respectful,
Yeah.
finding a deal that works for everyone.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And those skills can be useful in all kinds of situations,
Oh, yeah.
not just shopping.
Right. It's like life is full of negotiations,
That's so true.
big and small.
Yeah, and it's like we start with this one topic, and then it ends up being about so much more.
Totally.
It's like it opens up all these new ways of thinking about things.
It does. So let's think about our listeners for a minute.
Okay.
What are some key things they should remember, whether they're, expert bargainers or just starting out?
Yeah, good question.
Well, I think the most important thing is to be prepared.
Okay.
Before you even start trying to bargain.
Right.
Whether it's for a souvenir or even negotiating your salary at a new job.
Yeah.
Take some time to think about the situation,
Okay.
the culture, and who has more power in that situation.
It's like do your research.
Exactly. Know what you're getting into.
The more you know, the better.
Right. And also, you should decide what success means to you.
What do you mean?
Well, is it about getting the absolute lowest price possible?
Okay.
Or is it more about finding a price that feels fair? Right.
One that respects the other person.
Yeah, sometimes it feels better to pay a little more if you know everyone's happy.
Exactly. And don't forget about, how you act.
Oh, right.
Smiling, making eye contact, all that stuff.
Being nice.
Yeah, it can make a huge difference.
It shows you're serious.
Right. And that you respect the other person.
It makes the whole thing go smoother.
Totally. And, bargaining is a skill. It takes practice.
Like anything else.
Exactly. So don't be afraid to try things out.
Yeah.
See what works for you. Learn from your mistakes.
It's like if you fall off the bike, you just get back on.
Yeah,
Eventually, you figure it out.
exactly. And who knows, maybe you'll discover you're a
Dialogue.
natural.
That'd be cool. This has been a really interesting deep dive.
I agree.
I feel like I've learned so much.
Me too.
Not just about bargaining, but about how to deal with all kinds of situations in life.
That's what's so cool about this stuff. Yeah. So for everyone listening, we hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into bargaining as much as we have.
Yeah.
Remember, there are all kinds of interesting things to discover out there. Just keep exploring, keep learning, and you never know what you might find.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.